When I was in sixth grade, I basically took care of myself for a year. What happened was I was, about 12 years old. My mom decided that she was going to start building a business in Poland. And she basically, she told me, she's like, I'm going to go to Poland for about a year and I'll be back, once a month. But basically, she got me a nanny. And, it's an interesting thing is when she did come back, the once a month, she was so tired from having to build a business that she basically, it was very difficult for her to even function. She got very sick. Actually, the whole experience made her very sick. So it was kind of intense. And so during that year, I had a nanny who didn't speak a lot of English, and she was the one to drive me to the bus stop because the bus didn't come all the way to my house. I had to get driven to the bus stop. And I actually was just getting out of elementary school, going into middle school, and I had been in a gifted program in the elementary school, but it was a public school. And then I went to this college prep private school where it was extremely difficult. It was one of the most difficult transitions because the people there at that school, they were learning in a much higher level already. So they had all elementary school, they were learning much more advanced stuff, so that when I got there, I had to like really do a lot of catch up. And at the same time, I didn't have anybody there to help me with the homework because my nanny didn't really speak a lot of English. And also, interestingly, the summer before the school year started, I actually got my first job that actually paid me because I was in a professional theater production. It was a summer theater, dinner theater in my area that actually cast me as in a role, and it was like a speaking part. I had to sing and things like that. So I actually had to get to the theater and get driven there. And my mom, she wasn't really around, so I had to rely on my nanny to drive me there and make sure that I was on time. And it was kind of intense because sometimes I think even that she couldn't do it, so I had to get other people because she was busy, and so it was a pretty intense experience having to have this job that I had to get to and that I couldn't always be driven to, and that my mom arranged other people to help take care of me as well throughout the experience. But it was a very challenging year, and basically I ended up getting A's and B's in the school, and also in that job I never missed a performance. I was always on time, and I did a good job with that as well. But to get all A's and B's in that school was not an easy task based on all the catching up that I had to do. And so it really showed me that under those kinds of circumstances, I could really pull through and do well for myself and really, excel in ways that I never even thought that I could. But I was able to, really get there. And so I saw that we really do have resources and that we can rely on that come from within that sometimes take these extraordinary measures to really show themselves. And so it's just amazing what we can accomplish. And it's often more than we think we can. And so I think that sometimes we rely on others way too much when we really can do much more for ourselves than we initially believe. There's times in our life when we've had to rely on ourselves really, and we thought there was going to be somebody else there. And those are the times that I think we've grown the most. So I'm just curious if you've ever had a time when you've had to rely on yourself more than you thought that you were able to. And so let me know in the comments if you've ever been in a situation where you've dealt with a situation by yourself as opposed to relying on someone who was normally there to help you. And did you feel like the experience made you stronger and more confident in your own abilities? I would love to know. And that's it for today. I hope you got a lot out of that story, that you really can do a lot more than you think you can. And so let me know in the comments if you've ever been in that kind of situation where you've had to rely on yourself and you've surprised yourself about how self-reliant you really can be. All right, that's it for today, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.